Enjoy the game, and of course, remember, dabble responsibly.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
We have had ourselves an incredible weekend here in the West for Hoops Fest. Derek Rucker, this is where we started on Thursday night, and we are finishing off with a bang today, first versus second.
Adelaide versus Southeast Melbourne, so many stars on the floor. This game has huge implications for the playoff picture.
And we shouldn't forget, Bryce Cotton returns to RAC Arena. What sort of reception will he get from WA fans?
They'll give him a warm and brilliant WA welcome because they get the chance to actually cheer on Bryce without worrying about him defeating the Perth Wildcats.
We've had an incredible weekend. We've had so much fun here in WA, but we are finishing off in style at Southeast Melbourne and Adelaide, first versus second, and it starts now.
There's so much at stake for both these teams.
It's first against second.
And we're ready to go in the jungle. Hands off to Bryce. Straight away a shot. Straight away it goes through the hoop. Chino!
Great pass.
This should be bigger than it is. It's massive.
Just go to Bryce!
That was nice. John Brown catches it.
A defensive masterclass from John Brown.
Maxwell lobs it up for Hunter. Beautiful to watch.
It's been an unforgettable time in the West, and with some of those pictures, you can't blame the fact that we have had ourselves so much fun. A massive shout out to the Western Australian State Government through Tourism Western Australia for being the host for Hoops Fest once again, and it's been a thrilling round of matches so far, but this is a way to finish in style. Adelaide versus Southeast Melbourne, first versus second. It's big business for both of these teams, two of the form teams of the NBL right now, but both coming off losses and will be keen to pick up from where they left off a couple of weeks ago. Great to have your company for the final game of Hoops Fest. I'm Jack Heverin, legends of the league Derek Rucker and Andrew Gaze alongside me. We've had so much fun. We don't want to go home, but this is a hell of a way to finish the weekend.
It certainly is. The two best teams in the competition, and not only that, but two very exciting teams as well. And you look at that ladder right now, Adelaide with a victory today have a chance to almost seal first place in the competition. Why do you not agree with me, Andrew?
No,
but
I do.
Southeast Melbourne right there in the hunt. Sydney sneaking up from behind.
You're losing confidence, Derek, because I 100% agree with you. In fact, I think it's going to be very difficult for them to be dislodged from one of those top two positions, but not with this team here. And that this stacked Southeast Melbourne Phoenix team that plays an exciting brand. They're up and in, they extend the defense, a fun team to watch.
And this is the big news, though, coming into today. Nathan Sobey, one of the best players in the competition, a leading candidate for the MVP, didn't make the trip to Perth. He was so sick, Derek, that they couldn't even put him on a plane this morning.
And with the brilliant form Nathan Sobey has been in, that's really unfortunate. But now Ian Clark gets the opportunity to get some reps. This season, he has not been off to a good start, Andrew, so it's a prime moment for him to feature.
Those numbers are poor, and it even gets worse when he especially has been shooting the three ball, and he's at 9% on the season with a little under 5 attempts a game. So that's an area we know that he can improve on. But it's getting to that point. He's got a decent chunk now with 5 games, and now without Nathan Sobey there, it's time for him to step up.
Very, very familiar surroundings, though, for Bryce Cotton. A beautiful little homecoming moment just a few moments ago when he was introduced to the crowd. A Perth Wildcat for a long time here in the league, now moving to Adelaide. And he's taken his game, if it was possible, to another level.
And a rare moment, we get a superstar coming back to a place where he used to play, but not playing against that team. So the Adelaide fans are here, obviously, but the Perth fans also will get to cheer on Bryce Cotton as he chases his 6th MVP, which would put him just one short of the great man right next to me, yourself, Andrew Gaze.
Always good to be able to cheer on a guy that's done so much for the franchise without feeling like you're committing treason. So it's a good opportunity for the fans, and the welcome that he got when he was introduced. A lot of love, as you'd expect, for Bryce Cotton.
And there's been a substantial change to Adelaide's lineup over the course of this week. Joe Healy, welcome to you. Who have we got coming in today?
Yeah, that's right, guys. Great to be here. John Jenkins, an awesome pickup for the 36ers. He's a 14-year pro with 171 NBA games experience. But I think the biggest benefit for him is the fact that he's got pre-existing relationships within the 36ers organisation. He played in the G League with Zylan Cheatham and worked with Mike Wells in the Team USA setup as well. He only arrived a couple of days ago, but I know he is itching to get out there. I spoke with Mike before the game. He said he's going to try and get him in early and see how he is. Now, I was watching Jenkins in warm-up, guys. I kid you not, he barely missed a shot. Cannot wait to see him out there.
Well, high hopes on John Jenkins as the 36ers. They're expecting to be in the championship series, Drew. And aside from that, look at these wonderful uniforms both teams have put out there, in particular the Adelaide 36ers.
All of the Hoops Fest uniforms have looked absolutely superb, but these two have gone to a whole nother level. Here we go. First versus second, Adelaide versus Southeast Melbourne. In a game where we're going to learn a lot about both teams. Adelaide have won both contests this season, rounds 5 and round 10.
Right now, Leonard Copeland is watching this game and going, about time. The very first play down the floor, they go at Owundo and try and post up Bryce Cotton.
Cameron, leading contender for most improved player. Can't score off his first look, and Foxwell will push the tempo. That's the way that Southeast Melbourne play. If you haven't seen a lot of the Phoenix, they get up and down.
And they shoot the three ball, take more threes than anyone in the competition. And as they should, because they lead the league in three-point field goal percentage.
Isaac White starting again today. Cameron, nice pass underneath for Humphreys. Adelaide with the first bucket of the game.
And that's where he's shown a surprising level of proficiency, Flynn Cameron, his ability to penetrate and bring other players into it. And not many better finishers around the cup than Isaac Humphreys.
Yeah, Flynn Cameron, you're looking at the most improved player in the competition.
And Clark surveys his options. Important for him to knock down an early one.
That's a good start there. I spoke to him the other night. As Isaac White gets right back on the rim, draws a foul on Ian Clark. And the challenge for Ian Clark, Andrew, is just to try and find the mobility and feel for the basketball itself and also fit into this team. And they play so fast up and down. And it's hard to play catch-up in the NBL when you join mid-stroke.
No, well, that's true. He has experience in the NBL, so he does have a slight advantage as opposed to some other imports that come in at this critical stage of the season. But played 5 games, but not a lot of practice time. The last week or so, it's been reported that he's got a lot more work done off in the practice environment. So that's going to be helpful for him.
And Jack, with the volume of 3 Southeast Melbourne like to get up, this is where he can really make a difference. He can shoot it at the level that we've grown accustomed to from him.
Cotton just blows past Clark all the way in. He can't finish off, but he will be on the line. And
John, it's on Jordy. Hit him in the elbow.
John Brown wanted a challenge, but then he found out that the foul wasn't called on him, and they still want a review.
Yep.
Josh King is looking over at his guy. I just don't think it's worth it right now.
It's a bit early unless you are 100% sure, and you really can't trust the players. We've learnt that throughout the course of since this rule has been introduced.
Jack, the confidence meter when a player asks for a challenge.
Well, it's on Geordie Hunter. It might have been a glancing throw across his shoulder. Hard to tell from that angle.
Would it show up on Snicko? That little...
Just.
I don't think so. 7-2. 36ers in Southeast Melbourne. Great way to finish off what's been a fabulous weekend. Owundo sent back by Humphreys. Here's the benchmark. Doing his thing.
Cotton from the mid-range. Does a great job on that middle cylinder pick and roll. Steps into a little elbow jumper. He's off to a strong start.
It's a little clunky offensively. It's to start the game. 1 of 5. That's better.
And you know where they've been susceptible to? It's the defensive transition of the Phoenix. If we look at the Amy replay, just gets to the rim and the block by Humphreys, and then straight away, right here, you got to be Bryce Cotton conscious, and one-on-one, a simple on-ball screen, wide open, that's a free throw.
Well, he
high
got
percentage.
Hunter got no, the guard, Ian Clark, got no help there. But Andrew, right now, when you look at Southeast Melbourne's offense, and Nathan Sobey is often criticized for his aggression, but in the framework of this team, you can see already they miss it. His aggression and his ability to go out there and try and make plays allows everyone else to fit into their role. And right now, they don't have anyone stepping into Sobey's role.
It's interesting watching the way the Adelaide 36ers are going about it as well, because they are statistically one of the slowest-paced teams in the competition against the fastest-paced team, but they are looking to push the ball every single possession.
So what does that look like, Drewy, from a coaching perspective? If you're Adelaide, you do all this scout and all this preparation coming into the game, and then you find out the opposition's best player isn't going to be here. What changes in the space of the 24 hours?
You feel good. There's a few guys out there saying, whoo, thank goodness I don't have to guard Sobey.
Yeah.
Jordy Hunter takes care of the rebound. We only saw him for 12 minutes last Saturday in their loss to Perth. Picked up 2 early fouls and was anchored to the bench for most of that game. There's John Brown with the offensive rebound.
Right now, the Phoenix are 1 of 6 from the floor.
Humphries rolls to the cup. Great athleticism from the big man, but missed out on a golden opportunity. Great pass, Foxwell for John Brown.
Poor transition there by the Sixers. Mike Wells looks at his guys like, what is going on?
Cameron found himself in a sticky situation. Foxwell walks into a 3 in transition. Adelaide get the ball back. Dejan Vasiljevic, Nick Rakocevic coming to the scorer's table to check in. Cotton a long way from the basket.
Zylan Cheatham really hasn't been featured on the offensive yet, Andrew.
No, and that's not uncommon. He's very patient. Oh, there's a lucky. I think Zion Cheatham actually got connection on there. And Mike Wells, well, he's a little agitated. Wants to have a chat about what's going on. Good run here. Good bounce back by the Phoenix.
They scored the last 6. Mike Wells wants to have a chat about a few things after Adelaide had a 9-2 start to this game. It's 9-8 in the Tangerine timeout. There's a lot of eyes coming into today on John Jenkins, about to play his first game for the Adelaide 36ers, and pre-game he caught up with Joe Healy.
John, great to have you in the league. How's it been over the last couple of days, just meeting your teammates and getting acclimatized with everything?
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been amazing. I got here 3 days ago and just got to meet the teammates 2 days ago. So it's been quick. Everything's been really fast right now, trying to adjust to the jet lag and the plays and the sets, but it helps that I know Coach from way back from USA Basketball, and so far so good.
I know you've said that you're mates with Ian Clark, playing against him today. Have you had a chance to speak with him and catch up, and how are you feeling about battling with him out there today?
Yeah, it's like family to me, so great player, great person. It's not always fun competing against your friends, but it has to be done.
In terms of your teammates, who are you most looking forward to playing with out there and connecting with?
Outside of Bryce, obviously, I think Zylan for sure. I played against him in the G League. He's been incredible this season here, watching the film and his playmaking abilities. I think I can play off him a lot.
Well, he comes in as a reputation as being a knockdown shooter. I'm sitting next to 2 knockdown shooters. If he can come in and replicate what it looked like in the pre-game warm-up, then look out.
And that's true. And within the construct of this Sixers team, when he gets used to what's going on, there should be ample, good shooting opportunities for him. I would imagine his shot quality will be really high.
Coming from Romania, there's travel, good defense, pressure defense. That's the signature of the Phoenix this season. They're up and in, they're contesting every pass, and they get a force a turnover on that one. But the other thing is he hasn't played a lot of basketball in recent times. I was looking at the numbers. He's been in Romania, where he's averaging 24 a game. He only played 4 games before being bought out. Before that, just in Puerto Rico for a handful of games. So he hasn't played a lot in the last couple of seasons.
Glover really needs an invitation to fire away. 36ers get the ball back. A little cheeky one there on Foxwell. Joe Healy was listening in at that timeout.
Yeah, Drew, you mentioned South East Melbourne's transition defence before. I spoke to Josh King before the game, and he said that's a big focus for them today. He told me the 36ers killed them in that area in both of their last games, and they need to get back to focusing on that side of the ball. Now, guys, we know they've developed a reputation. It's almost their identity since King took over the reins of them being a strong defensive team. They're looking to re-establish that today.
They certainly are, and it is a fine line because they like to get up and in and pick up in the backcourt and put ball pressure on. And when you're doing that, it's incumbent on the others to get back and build a wall behind the ball. And sometimes just the sheer manpower is not there, and you can be exposed because of what they're trying to do with the up-the-floor pressure. DJ Vasiljevic down low, doing the right thing, trying to half front. There was a mismatch trying to guard Brown. Just a little too aggressive with trying to get in front.
Here's John Jenkins checking in for his first minutes with the Adelaide 36ers. Pick number 23 in the 2012 draft in the NBA for the Atlanta Hawks. Has also spent time with Dallas, Phoenix, Washington, and the New York Knicks.
And a host of countries in Europe as well.
Passport's got a lot of stamps. Nice take by Glover.
He's been so good this year. And really getting into the prime years of his professional career. So talented on the offensive end.
After a slow start, South East Melbourne find themselves in the lead for the first time today. A chance to add to that. Mawundu pulls up, got it!
Just walked down and stuck it in his eye. Wasn't a whole lot of sophistication, just come down and wasn't the appropriate level of ball pressure.
First three of the game. There's Jenkins with his first look, not a mile away. Mawundu trying to repeat the dose. Back-to-back threes. He's picking up from where he left off last Saturday.
Well, he's been a good fit not only for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix and the way they like to play defensively, but he's added this three ball over the past 3 or 4 rounds. And Mawundu is really making a mark in this league. He'll take a seat on the bench after knocking down 2 threes.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going great.
Are you suggesting he shouldn't be sitting down, Derek?
No, he should not be sitting down right now.
After you've just made 2, but I think of the energy they play at, they substitute by the clock a little more than some of the other teams.
Well, they've got Adelaide Rattlejack on the offensive end, and the pressure and the length are just closing down passing angles, and the turnovers starting to really be problematic for Adelaide.
Ross Cotton sitting down at the moment, so White, Jenkins, Rakocevic, Cheatham and Vasiljevic out there for the 36ers. Brown, Glover, Clark, Foxwell, and Malik Lewis getting his first look of the afternoon for South East Melbourne.
See that image there, you won't see that very often. Bryce averaging 38 minutes a game. Just get a photo of him on the bench because that's rare.
And you know, Jack, this is what Southeast Melbourne do. They just pressure you, pressure you, pressure you. They may give up some as DJ lets one fly from Frio.
More time.
Miss at one end, and then Clark cashes in at the other. It's a 9-point lead for South East Melbourne. What a turnaround.
And look, they're up the floor. Sixers don't have a great ball handling lineup in without Cameron and Cotton on the floor.
Static at the moment for Adelaide. Struggling to find a way to knock it down. That's a pretty easy solution.
Naturally robotic, that stroke, Andrew. And what I mean by that is he's able to replicate the same action shot after shot.
Yeah, spot on, and there's a lucky one off the bank. I guarantee you didn't call it, but you're right. And what it is not a lot of legs in that shot, so he doesn't need a whole lot of time to get it off.
He hit that first three, and Mike Wells, the Adelaide coach, just looked over at us with a smile and said, look at what I've got to play with. This hustle from Rakocevic.
Going into the final couple of minutes this first quarter, the Sixers need to hold on, get some stops as Foxwell loses DJ. Outstanding move by Owen Foxwell. And right there, he demonstrates why he's so coveted, not only here in the NBL, but in certain quarters in the United States of America.
Yeah. The college you're talking about, it's not a secret. NCAA, you don't have to speak cryptically about it. He's got some big time offers.
Well, Andrew, it's a bit of TV work. I was setting you up to provide some color to it.
Not bad.
3 words that may be very, very important to Owen Foxwell next year. 3 letters, NIL.
Yes. Eligibility is always a concern with some of the older guys that have played professionally, but...
Well, you look over, his brother is doing very well.
Wow. Doing better than very well.
One of the top assist guys in NCAA Division I basketball. And we've seen Owen's work here in the NBL, so there's no doubt he can significantly influence a college program at any level.
Southeast Melbourne fans watching today, though, will not want to lose Owen Foxwell. He's been such a story of growth in the league from the bottom of the bench to now starting.
Pass.
Great pass inside, and White does the rest.
Super pass. There wasn't a lot the defense did wrong there. Just turn the head and see them thread the needle.
Clark looks like he's moving better, Jack, even though he missed that shot. I often look at player mobility as a key to how they may perform in the near future.
Shooting with a handoff to Cotton. Shot clock down to 9. And swings to Isaac White. That's a great look, and he does the rest.
What a possession, and Zylan Cheatham just engineered all of that. He is so slick with the basketball, and his decision-making is like that of a point guard, Drew.
Absolutely. That was a beautiful execution. Put that on the tape, and the ball movement and the quick decisions.
Hunter knocks that in with 1 to come.
Well, he got caught. Bryce Cotton, that is, in a mismatch on the switch up top, and he had to go down with Hunter, and that's just no contest down there.
Harlem Globetrotters coming to town next year. 100 years of thrills, 100 years of laughs, and they are an unbelievably good family product. There'll be families all over the country scanning that QR code for June and July this year.
Yeah, for sure.
You gonna head along, Drew? Give a bit of your time.
Absolutely, I love it. It's entertaining. I've said this before. I remember going to Kooyong in the outdoors when I was about 11 years of age. What a blast it was. And
Ricky Daniels and Liam Santamaria courtside, taking it all in. Of course, a big day for the NBL Next Stars program.
Get to that a little bit later on as well. Ozovic. The current crop of Next Stars, Malik Lewis, in the 2nd season with the Phoenix. Easy layup there for Glover.
The bigs at both ends, putting on a show with the passing. Cheatham at one end, that time Hunter.
Beautiful anticipation there by Jordy Hunter.
Cotton and Cheatham, it's a deadly combination.
Cheatham disappointed with himself, knows he has to finish that one around the cup. Cotton set him up nicely.
And, you know, the other thing that Jenkins coming into this lineup, it's going to really test the patience of some of the other players, because if he ends up playing significant minutes, which we expect he will, then someone has to sacrifice. And people that have been playing, White, who's been playing big minutes and is doing really well in this one with the 8 points. Vasiljevic is another one.
Well, I think the formula for Jenkins is quite simple. If he's knocking down threes, he's going to play significant minutes. And that was one of the things that brought Troy Brown Jr. undone, was his inability to knock down good looks and continue to stretch the defense and alleviate pressure on Cotton and Cheatham.
Big part of what it looks like going forwards, Island Cheatham as well. The Adelaide 36ers.
Made a great debut last night on TV, too. I saw Andrew trying to not allow him to get too much shine, just bringing out enough without allowing him to totally excel as Hunter misses up close.
I thought we expected goal from him.
Fantastic.
Yeah, hating, but that's something that's not going to hate the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix fans, because they have not seen enough of that from Clark.
Up to 7 points now.
Now the #1 scoring team in the competition, the Phoenix, and they've got 31 on the board.
Look how they load up on Cotton. Still gets through.
He slices and dices because he's Bryce Cotton, and he can do things that other people can't.
Oh.
Quarter time at Hoops Fest. It's the Phoenix 31 who lead the Adelaide 36ers 23, but this game already looks like it is set up to be a massive, massive afternoon. And speaking of massive, Fremantle itself, what an unbelievable place, a vibrant port city. You can go there and have a whole day or more. There is so much to do at Fremantle, so much to do right across the great state of Western Australia. Our host for Hoops Fest, once again.
Welcome back to the Hungry Jacks NBL at Southeast Melbourne, leading the Adelaide 36ers 31-23 after one. An intense first quarter. The Stars are leading the way for their side. Listening to Mike Wells and the 36ers there at the break. He just wants them to pick up their defense ever so slightly, higher pickup points, hands in faces, and try and close this gap.
What a game it's been so far.
Well, it needs to be a bit more than that. I think that their defense, the transition where they gave up 9 fast break points to 3 and points in the paint 18 to 10. Both those in favour of the Phoenix.
Which is not normally a strength of Southeast Melbourne. They're 8th in the competition for points in the paint, but
they shoot so many threes. Oh, hello.
Easy money for Zylan Cheatham.
Well, there is fruit on the pick and roll tree if Adelaide can get to it more frequently, because there's been plenty of opportunities. But Isaac Humphries only played 4 minutes in that first quarter. Look to him to feature more prominently.
Brown throws a ball cross court for Ian Clark. 3 of 8.
Aggressive.
Cheatham rolls and scores. No.
Oh, what?
It jumps out. Humphries handles the rest.
Whoa.
Offensive foul, and this will be his second.
And Jack, I have no idea how that ball popped out.
Hits to the face. White ball.
And we've got an offensive foul on Humphries. Great pass there by
Still hit him in the face.
Cameron to Cheatham.
I understand that. If it's incidental contact to the shoulder,
no, that's not a foul.
To the face is a foul.
I don't think that was he didn't extend the arm out. Who made the contact? Yeah, I understand that Hunter come off worse, but there's no extending of the arm. He just grabbed the rebound.
Mike Wells thought about a review, and his video review staff said, "Don't do it."
Like he just brings the ball in, and that elbow didn't hit him. It's not that elbow, the swinging the elbow. That was where the contact was.
I agree with you, Andrew. I think that's a poor call. And as a result, Humphries has to go to the bench with 2 fouls, Jack.
Hey, basket. Blue 2.
Again, it was like he was almost gathering the basketball, and in the process, his elbow swings through.
It wasn't the swing where the contact was made. It was prior to that.
Here's the foul on Isaac White. So Adelaide have picked up 2 fouls in the first minute and a bit. Phoenix who lead by 6, and Foxwell expands on that. Nothing but cotton.
Tough bucket there. Got the big man out on him. Hits him with the crossover into his 3-ball off the bounce.
4 of 10 now, Southeast Melbourne from deep, Derek. If they start hitting threes, that's a big problem for Adelaide.
On the floor. Out of fight.
Well, Jack, we're going to get a flop call there, but you're right with the comment. When Southeast Melbourne knocked down the 3-ball, they average about 12 or 13 makes per game. Throughout the course of the season, when they've been lean from the 3-point line, Drewy, is when they've struggled in games.
Well, it takes so many of them. Here is the thing where they've called a flop, and because the flop, so they said that's a flop, but there, right there, because he's on the floor, it takes the player out of the play. So they call a block on Foxwell. So I thought there was enough contact for Warren. No call.
Foster in for his first minutes for Southeast Melbourne. Here's Foxwell being busy. Cheatham takes care of the rebound. Averages 10 of those a game to go with his 12 points. He's been phenomenal. Zylan Cheatham. Quiet start for Vasiljevic. It's his second look at the afternoon. Turnover Phoenix. Clark got it back, but he's been whistled for the foul.
Late call there. And good defense on that possession by Zylan Cheatham to get that ball back. Now Ian Clark will join Iwandu and Owen Foxwell with 2 fouls. But Josh King will decide to roll the dice and leave him out there, and he has the benefit of being so deep with his wings.
Teams is still trying to establish themselves and take a bit of momentum. It was Adelaide early, now Southeast Melbourne. Find themselves with a handy little break. Cotton with 3 on the clock. Handles his business.
It makes it look so easy, the ability to get that deep into the paint. And with the right hand, he's great both ways, but going right, I think that he's more into the paint when he goes right. It looks so easy.
Got Malik Lewis baseline. Extra pass is knocked out of play.
So Drew, Adelaide are switching a lot of these screens, and as a result, they're getting caught with their small players on bigs.
We're looking for it. He's moving.
With Southeast Melbourne dominating with points in the paint, they might have to revisit that strategy. Now, some of these points are coming out of transition, but they're getting hurt in the half court also. Iwandu knocks down another mid-range jumper.
He's coming up with big plays and making buckets. Defense it's not been great, but it's not poor.
Malik Lewis came charging in and knocked that ball away. Look at the way they run the floor. The next star does it at one end, stops it at the other. Southeast Melbourne with a 38-27 lead. Timeout.
And that's what Malik Lewis can give you. Look at the Amy replay. Does a great job, elevates, always able to provide effort with his physical presence, and then knows what's available, runs the floor. Great pass. Ooh, look at that athleticism.
This is a fun team, the Phoenix. The way they play, they do things a little differently to what a lot of the other teams, the way they play. And when they get out in the open court, they're as good as any because they've got threats all over the place. You've got to be spread because they can shoot for 3. And if you spread it that much, those lanes open up like we just saw.
Tangerine timeout. The Adelaide 36ers have been wheeling and dealing all season long, and the man behind that is Matt Weston. He's alongside Joe Healy.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. 36ers GM Matt Weston. Big week for you guys. You've bolstered your stocks as an organisation with Jenkins coming in. Talk me through the process and what he's looking like out there.
Yeah,
So we have a list of guys we're always watching and keeping in touch with, and the team's done a great job. We're able to do it quite quickly, which has helped. It's good to see him get out there and get a bit of a feel against, you know, South East Melbourne. So, yeah, we're looking forward to what he'll be able to bring us.
Lots of talk around the 36ers, the Bryce factor, you're top of the table. You guys are the hunted, but it's not a bad position to be in.
No, it's a little unusual for us, so it is a good position to be in and sort of, you know, get ready to play March.
What have you made of this one so far?
It's a track meet. They're definitely out there shooting. We just can't seem to finish at the moment. We're missing a lot of shots that we normally make. So yeah, we'll be okay.
Still plenty of time. Good luck for the rest of it.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
One thing that cannot be questioned is that the Adelaide 36ers are in it to win it this season.
Well, we love that level of commitment, don't we, Andrew? When front office and ownership are willing to chase titles, that's what it's about.
Absolutely trying to get his game going. He'll be on the free throw line. Matt Weston told me the other night that I asked him about John Jenkins and his shooting ability. He said, I haven't seen a guy in a shoot-around knock down as many since I saw Steve Kerr and Andrew Gaze go head-to-head one day while they were both at the San Antonio Spurs.
We had a little, myself and Steve, we called it the President's Cup. And we had a President's Cup shootout at the end of every practice session. And
how'd you going, though? Steve Kerr was a terrific shooter of the basketball.
Well, he was a lot more tired than I was because he actually played, whereas
you were
I was well rested.
Let him move, let him move.
Still didn't tell us who won.
We went. We had our time.
I got the feeling that our man might have acquitted himself very nicely, Derek. Oh! Look at Daniel Foster come flying through the air. That is incredible.
Climbed the ladder and went over the top of a couple of sixes and throw that one down. Daniel Foster.
He's had an impact way beyond what I thought he was going to have at the start of the season.
Nice break from Rakocevic, finds Cheatham.
Adelaide struggling on the offensive end. This Phoenix defense has really disrupted their rhythm.
He's an immensely talented young man, Daniel Foster. 24 years of age. That right there was a moment. Finds another talented young man. Not that time from Malik Lewis. And Foster. Whistle for the foul. Here it is.
Yeah, down low.
He got his arm first.
And look at just come in. Bryce doesn't box out.
Up with the ball. 11.
Gets a nice runway. See Bryce ball watching. Got that type of athleticism.
He makes it look like he's running up a ramp and just taking off.
But there's some sort of mini tramp just on that no try circle.
Grabs that thing with two hands, flushes it strong.
Phoenix lead by 9. Sunday hoops at RAC Arena. An early jump here in the West. It's just gone past midday local time. WNBL still to come this afternoon as well to finish off what has been a phenomenal weekend. Speaking of phenomenal,
Wandu smacked him across the face as Cotton went ISO mode on him. Gave him a series of moves. Was able to create a tough shot, drew the foul, go to the line to shoot one. Right now, he's leading this game in scoring with 10.
Yeah,
that's a tough matchup for Cotton with the long defender on it.
And he's done it off the bounce, mostly. 4 of 7 from the field, 0 of 2 from threes. And they're up and in trying to deny. And when they're that tight, he can beat you in so many different ways. And getting to the rim. It's a soft foul, but it was there from our angle.
Well, you got to protect the shooter, right?
Not the first man into double figures. 11 points on 4 of 7 shooting. John Brown in the mid-range is a handy little tool for the Phoenix to have.
Especially in this building. Remember, he had a game winner against the Perth Wildcats here several weeks ago. And I can tell you something that has not diminished over the course of this season. His intensity level. Continues to be a menace on the defensive end.
Gee, that's a foul. He swings from behind, grabs his arm. Yeah, you've got good reason to complain.
Phoenix have won 6 of their last 8 games coming into today. Adelaide had their 5-game winning streak broken last weekend by Tasmania, but collectively have won 12 of their last 14 games, the 36ers. sit on top of the Mitsubishi Motors ladder. This man is a major reason for it, as is this guy, Isaac Humphries, with an O-board.
He missed a kick out to Jenkins.
Wide open. That's Jenkins' bread and butter.
Lava for DJ Mitchell, who checks in.
He's been on fire lately, Jack. He'd be disappointed he missed that good look.
Bryce Cotton will be on the strike.
Adelaide slowly turning the wheel of momentum in their direction, even though they're down 8, but they've slowed down the Phoenix's scoring, while not quite getting it going offensively, but Bryce has been able to just produce enough to keep them in it.
Jenkins checks out. Short minutes for Jenkins, and he's still learning the system, learning some of the sets. And it's difficult for him, but Derek, we were talking about this before the start of the game. One of the toughest things is you've got to go back as a group. You're back to the 5-on-0 stuff. You're back to that grinding.
Well, you almost have to rewind back to September-type training styles to get the new guy used to what you're doing.
That's right. So you've got to have some patience, too, if you're a 36 player.
Well, I would tell Coach, hey, Coach, I'm going to take this part of the day off.
Bring in the rookies. Bring in the rookies and have them teach him our systems and our sets.
Cameron scoreless so far in this game. 12 points, 5 rebounds. Travels.
Good call, Andrew. Right in front of us here at the scorer's table, and DJ angry with himself. Probably should have just let the first one fly.
And that's another call that is somewhat inconsistent. They do let a lot of that go.
5th turnover for Adelaide. Starting to become costly for them normally. They're so precise with. The Phoenix can make you change things. They can get you doing things that you don't normally want to be doing. And then at the other end, they've got a loaded shooting roster.
Almost the identical move where he knocked down a 3 earlier, except this time it wasn't in a switch situation. Foxwell playing very well.
Misses out. Big rebound, Humphries. .45-38. Jordy Hunter has had his number called at the scorer's table. Mitchell, that's what he's out there to do.
He really knows his role. Comes in, he's got the ultra green light to let it fly, and he doesn't hesitate.
Deep on his 3. Adelaide now 2 of 11 from long range. They are the best 3-point shooting team in the competition. Not today. 2 more for Brown.
They're just running it at him, Derek. They're just going at him. And there should be no surprise. This is what they've been doing all season.
Nice pass from Cotton, finds the roller.
And that seems to be the concept where Southeast Melbourne have struggled the most against Adelaide. I mentioned it in the first quarter, Adelaide really needs to get in the pick and roll as much as possible on the offensive end.
Still the Phoenix with a double-digit lead. Mitchell almost travels and then throws up one that was a long way short.
Well, there's your theory from last night that you put to us, Andrew. If you doubt, don't do it.
Cotton scores.
Gee, he's getting into the paint a whole lot easier than he normally does, and it's both ways. It's the guy guarding the ball, and there's a hint of a switch. It looked like a miscommunication. And then the weak side, and he's not high enough to catch Bryce before he gets to the cup.
Timeout called as Josh King wants to talk it over.
50-42, halftime. We've got plenty to cover off. It's been a big day in Australian basketball. We'll talk Next Stars a little bit later on as well. Allen Iverson's been here all week. One thing that was a high-priced item for him and for the best player in our competition, Bryce Cotton, was a meeting, and they had that yesterday.
Certainly did, and this was one of those moments where everybody feels good, and Allen Iverson has been an idol of Bryce Cotton's for some time, and you even see it in the crossover that Bryce uses so effectively and entertainingly. And to see those two guys have the chance to meet and Iverson be presented with his own Sixers jersey, Adelaide Sixers that is, Drew.
Yes.
Great moment.
We'll see that in full and find out what they spoke about at halftime.
Had a conversation with Bryce Cotton before the game, and to say that he is not motivated would be crazy talk. This guy burns with a fire, Andrew, that I've only seen in a handful of competitors in the NBL, and you're probably in that handful. No, you're not probably, you definitely are.
Thank you. But 5 of 10.
Yeah.
And only 2 three-point field goal attempts. So he assesses the situation. He plays with the mind as much as he does with the body. And he reads defense, not only who's guarding him, but he reads the floor so well. He's able to identify where the openings are, and he plays accordingly.
16 points. Adelaide collectively have 43. Glover almost access Hunter. Nice D from Adelaide, though. Cameron takes it from one end to the other.
Just a little bit off his mark, Clint Cameron.
Glover coughs it up.
Clint Cameron, a guy who's pretty much a 40% career three-point shooter, Andrew, is very efficient on the offensive end. Has a lot of tools in his game, but today he's 0 of 6 with a couple of turnovers.
The time in front, bottom portion of the screen there, Phoenix trailed early. Adelaide led 9-2 if you have just joined us, but Southeast Melbourne since then have been able to have their noses in front.
Cotton wanted the foul. Thought there was lower body contact.
Southeast Melbourne. 29 seconds before halftime. There's Drew Petrie, North Melbourne champion, in the house this afternoon. Now lives over here in the West.
Yep.
He'd be handy underneath the basket.
Oh, my word. He could kick a goal as well. Sure could. Yeah.
Crank the tank.
Crank the tank. Celebrations.
Now, popularity is never in question when it comes to Bryce Cotton here in the NBL, but we did pose the question, what would it look and sound like when Bryce Cotton was introduced to the Western Australian fans pre-game? How good was this?
Again, a great reception there by the Perth basketball community. They understand and appreciate the greatness and what Bryce Cotton has meant to this franchise. A nice crowd in here on the Sunday afternoon, and I said it before, Andrew, I'm sure a lot of Perth Wildcats fans feel a sense of relief to be able to come out here and just cheer for Bryce and not worry about the implications to their beloved Wildcats.
Well, that's right. As you mentioned, it's showing some respect for what he was able to do. 3 championships and a handful of MVPs. Extraordinary impact he's had, not just on the team, but the entire community.
As soon as we finish up here at Hoops Fest, we turn our attention to the Ignite Cup final on the Gold Coast, if you don't mind. February 22nd. Scan the QR code.
Who are the likely finalists, Jack?
Wow, way to put him on the spot. Guy trying to call the game, you're putting him under pressure.
Yeah, Adelaide look like they'll be there. Yes. New Zealand Breakers look like they'll also be there.
One shot.
Nice action there. Ian Clark has been really good in this game. Finds Hunter and Cheatham. Commits the foul on the left shoulder of Hunter. Chance now for the Phoenix to go up by 10.
We mentioned about the switching that was going on. That time there, it was more of a hard show. So maybe they have taken your advice and are looking at some different options on the defensive end.
Well, if they want to take my advice, please execute a little bit better.
That's what I was about to say, but they need to be able to deal with the rotations a little more. And again,
Josh, we all got a great look at that play.
Ball pressure can camouflage
nobody got fouled
a
on
lot
that.
of imperfections in the defense. When you've got a lot of pressure on the passer, it can be helpful. Just can't get one to roll. Clint Cameron just having a dirty day. 0 of 7.
So the Phoenix with a double-digit lead as they head to the half, and doing it without Nathan Sobey.
Now with 8 on the clock, they go to some situational basketball. Josh King gets his big back into the game with 4 shooters here, Andrew.
Not a lot of time left for the Phoenix. Mitchell called for an offensive foul.
Ian Clark says the defender was in the restricted area. The referee immediately said no, he was outside.
Yeah, he was there a long time. An easy call for the official. TJ Mitchell just well out.
Not sure that's what Josh King was looking for.
Not positive it wasn't.
In that last play. Cameron from halfway. Big lead for Southeast Melbourne in the battle between first and second. It's the Phoenix 53, Adelaide 43.
Excellent defense by the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix in that first half, and that's how you make up for the loss of your superstar Nathan Sobey. Come out of the gates hard defensively and really restrict this Adelaide Sixers team.
Yeah, they do, and they need to make up for it. Adelaide's three-point shooting, 2 of 13 from the three-point line.
Let's get over to Joe Healy.
Yeah, thanks. I've got Wes Wondu with me. Wes, you guys are missing Nathan Sobey a bit, but it feels like everyone stepped up to fill the void. What's the most pleasing thing about that first half?
Just like you said, you know, it's a next man up mentality. We're missing a soldier out here, so the rest of us got to step up in his presence.
Seems like Bryce Cotton's starting to get going. What do you need to do to limit his impact from here?
Just follow discipline, keep our hands up, show our hands, and keep them off the free throw line.
Good luck for the rest of it.
Thank you.
Well, it's the top of the table clash, and it's living up to the hype. Southeast Melbourne leading the 36ers by 10 at the half. A big 20 minutes ahead. We'll be back with more after this. Welcome back to the Hungry Jacks NBL, the final day of Hoops Fest. It's the top of the table blockbuster between the Adelaide 36ers and Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. There's a 10-point deficit at the moment. Andrew Gaze, what did you make of that first half?
I thought it was a fun first half, and we're all concerned or curious to know what's going to happen with Nathan Sobey's not playing. And the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, they came out 9-2, but from that point on, they've been able to make some adjustments and played really well and contain the three-point line of the Adelaide 36ers, where the 36ers have been in a world of pain trying to get that three ball to fall.
One player who's making it all look very, very easy out there, Bryce Cotton, getting himself into the paint. What did you make of his first half performance?
Yeah, I thought it was really smart the way he went about it. You could see what defensively they were trying to do to stop him, take the ball away from him, but any catch, closing him out, taking away the three ball, but he was able to get into the paint. And we've been saying this all along, if it becomes a one-on-one battle with Bryce Cotton wins. And collectively, as far as the weak side help and how you help on the on-ball screens, it wasn't quite on point, and Bryce got off the chain.
What's Josh King saying to his troops in the locker room at the moment to try and keep this lead and hold off for the win here?
More of the same. Keep pushing the tempo. We've seen when we get out and run, we can get some easy buckets in transition, and keep trying to slow down Bryce Cotton. You do that, you're a long way ahead of trying to get control of the Adelaide 36ers.
And what about Southeast Melbourne from an offensive point of view? Obviously, no Nathan Sobey out there, but they seem to be filling the void pretty nicely.
Yeah, they've got a lot of options. They shoot the three ball really well. The number one three-point shooting team in the competition. And what that does, it really spreads the floor and can open up the driving lane. So they've had it both ways. They've knocked down the three ball, 6 of 16, shooting it okay from there, putting some pressure, but then in transition, being able to get to the rim and pick up some easy buckets.
Still a big second half coming up. Before we get there, though, Jack and Dee have got a special guest with them.
We most certainly do, Joe. Thank you very much. A great day for Australian basketball today. One of the brightest young talents, Luke Paul, has committed to the NBL Next Stars program. His agent and probably one of the most powerful people in Australian basketball, Daniel Moldovan, joins us. What a great day, and he's such an impressive young man. So congratulations to all of you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's exciting for everybody. I mean, we don't like to throw the word phenom around, but I don't know how else to refer to him. He's as talented of a 16-year-old as we've produced, and it's going to be a long pathway, and we're not rushing things, but Australian basketball fans should be really excited.
And Daniel, you've been involved with the NBL for decades now. How do you see the evolution of the game as it's perceived internationally, and how do you see the growth in terms of young pathways for our players?
Yeah, look, we've ever since Larry took over, we've been growing on the world stage, and everyone looks at us as a legitimate second or third best destination in the basketball landscape. But the Next Star program was originally designed to have all of these internationals come through our league. So I'm extra excited that now it's really becoming a pathway for Australia's best. And so with Dash Daniels currently in the program, Luke Paul next up, I mean, it just further stamps this league as the legitimate pathway for young future NBA players.
And how does it make you feel as an agent? Because often one of your strengths is your ability to develop personal relationships with your clients. What kind of pride does it fill you with when you see Dyson Daniels and Josh Giddey, and the list is going, Lockie Ulbrich? You see these guys start to fulfill their dreams. What does it feel like in your heart?
Look, this is kind of what you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go fly across the world for. You know, getting the deal done is a very small part, but the pride as an Australian to see these guys not only on the world stage but thriving on the world stage is everything that motivates me and continues to, you know, have me wanting more. So whether it's Dyson and Josh, you know, reaching their potential and having 16-year-olds next up,
yeah,
you know, this is what I do and why I do it.
And you do a very, very good job of that. We're going to hear from Luke Paul in the second half. He'll be with Joe as well. Daniel, thank you for stopping by. We always appreciate your time. Southeast Melbourne lead by 10 at the half here at Hoops Fest over the Adelaide 36ers. We've got a big second half coming up next.
What's going on, man? Pleasure to meet you, dude.
All right, nice to meet you too. The only advice I have to you, man, you know, somebody that's been there and did it for as long as I've done it, man, enjoy the moment, man. You know what I mean? Don't take it for granted, because it go by so fast. You understand? Like, I don't see where that time went. Enjoy it, man. The blessing that he gave for you to be able to 5-time MVP, bro. You know what I mean? You making it do what it do. You doing your shit, man. You know what I mean? And it's a good thing, you know, that I don't have to tell you nothing but keep going.
Basically, all the experiences I done had up until this point is like, that shit is so abnormal from where I'm from. So it's like, I know in that area, it's like, there probably ain't gonna be nobody else to tell a story like this for a long time. So it's like, I'm trying to make this ride last as long as possible.
That's right.
Because I want to make sure, like you said, when the ball run out of air, I got a lot of stories to tell on and off the court.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like, I know how you talk about Jordan and you say if there wasn't no Jordan, there's no you, but like, knowing you is the same height and the exact same weight as me as a kid. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. We the same height, but like, that always gave me hope, because it was like, you know, damn, like, he's so small, but look at what he's doing. And ever since a little kid, I was the type of person, I just need to see one person do something. And if I see one, I know, all right, shit, it can be done. And like, I always kind of kept that with me, because I always heard I'm too small, too whatever. But, you know, knowing you had did it, I was like, well, shit, if he can do it, you know, I can do what I'm trying to do too. So I appreciate that from afar.
My man.
Facts.
Thanks, baby.
Yes, sir.
A very, very real moment there. We appreciate Allen Iverson and Bryce Cotton for allowing our cameras to take in what was a beautiful meeting between two superstars.
I think that's probably going to be the highlight of Hoops Fest, seeing those two great men together, and just the inspiration Iverson presented. Glenn Cameron continues his horror game, double dribbles there on the penetration, trying to amp himself up, Jack.
So, Drewy, from an Adelaide perspective, they've had a lot of things taken away from them by Southeast Melbourne in the first half.
Yep.
How do they change things?
Well, it can be as simple as looking at the stats and saying we're 2 of 13 from the three-point line. We just got to make some shots, because you look at all the other stats and it's they're not miles away from it, but they still have to find a way. And that'll help. Good pick and roll, like you mentioned. Bryce Cotton can command so much attention. The roll is going to be on, but it's down this end of the floor where I think they've got to find a way to get some stops.
8 and 4 for Isaac Humphries, working his way into the game. Ian Clark starting today in the absence of Nathan Sobey.
These are huge minutes, Andrew, for Ian Clark, filling in for Nathan Sobey.
You saw earlier, remember in the first half I mentioned with DJ's travel call, and it was there, but they sometimes let it go. I think that was an example down the other end where they let a similar one go that time.
I think so. Humphries finds himself alone underneath again.
He must play extended minutes in this second half if the Sixers want to have a chance of getting out of here with the victory. He's got 2 fouls now, so he's got to be smart on the defensive end.
This is a much better performance from Ian Clark today.
How does he get that wide open after one pass? Flare screen, and he's got time to feel the laces, get the branding in the right spot, and just knock it down.
5 of 10 from the field.
Coming into today was 9% from outside. 2 of 21 in his 5 games.
No rim. I'm leading.
Cotton under duress and ended up in the lap of our cameraman. Brown off the floor. Stopped by Zylan Cheatham. He is an athletic powerhouse.
Big possession here.
Cotton playing with it. And then Cheatham does the rest.
It was just one of those momentum possessions, Andrew.
Yep. Both ends of the floor. Cheatham makes the 3-ball where he doesn't take anything unless he's wide open. But it's showing that he's good enough to knock it down. But that determination in the transition to protect the rim.
Adelaide's issue, though, is that every time they get a little surge of momentum, Phoenix find a way to score.
Phoenix currently shooting 49% from the field. I'd like to have a look at this one. We look at Amy replay. Cheatham went up, great timing. Backside into the cameraman, and then Cotton goes with his Nash action. Finds Cheatham in the corner, 3-ball. Continuing to improve his three-point shooting, Zylan Cheatham.
32% now for the season. As Drew said, doesn't take a lot of them. Only 25 attempts coming into today.
Low 11, pushing it back.
And Drew, this is one of your favorite calls right here.
Well, they call it on Bryce Cotton. He just got out of control. Sometimes they taught the guy pivoting.
Leading scorer in the game, Bryce Cotton, 16 points, 4 assists.
Let him move. We got a dead ball, guys.
I've seen that call on offenses as well.
Who loses the handle. Cotton for Humphries. The big man ran the floor and got rewarded. He's made a good start to this third quarter.
What he does, he gets in the right spot to the right time. He's got that connection now with Bryce, where he reads his defender, sees where the help's coming from, and we look at the live ladder. And just gives a bit more breathing space for the Phoenix in that top two. Huge advantage not to get involved in those playing games.
Well, let me ask you a question, Andrew. Is it more important for the Phoenix to create separation away from the third spot, Sydney Kings, or draw closer to #1, Adelaide?
Well, I think their quest is to do both, of course, but hanging on at the bare minimum to second place has got to be right up there as their first priority, and then they can try for the second goal after they've secured the first.
John, you went into him.
I tend to be a little bit greedier. I want the first spot.
We
Hey, if you lead the horse to water, we will drink.
I don't know what Brown is complaining about.
Well, I think this goes back to the block shot, Andrew. Right. Just that competitive pride. And John Brown and Zylan Cheatham involved in a great tangle in this one. Brown got 10 points, a few rebounds, and Cheatham's got 10 points and 8 rebounds. And both are going to feature prominently as candidates in end-of-season awards.
Brown picks the pocket of Humphries after a strong offensive board. East Melbourne with an 8-point advantage. Both clashes this season have gone the way of Adelaide. Phoenix playing really good basketball today without Nathan Sobey.
Foxwell's so slippery with that basketball. A little bit more athletic and quicker than you think. But it's the intelligence of knowing how and knowing when that is his superpower.
80% for the season. Spot on, Foxwell.
And it's his ability to create opportunities for his teammates. You know, he's got 6 assists in this one, but he always finds a way to be relevant in a basketball game.
He's out there at the moment with Awundu, Clark, Hunter and Brown for Adelaide, Cameron, White, Cotton, Cheatham and Rakocevic. Swift hands from Awundu. Not often that you see that. And the score to go with it. It's a double-digit lead for the Phoenix again.
He's long, got real long arms, and he picked it, just picked his pocket.
Just see the body language of the Adelaide bench next to where we sit. Even they were surprised that Rakocevic with an offensive foul. Steps over the top of Foxwell too, which didn't go over well.
You see right here, Cotton tries to get him with the crossover. And Awundu's length. The real problem, finishes on the other end. He's been outstanding. Just a perfect role player for this Josh King outfit.
It's taken a little while, but he has crafted this roster in his image and his likeness, and he's got A team full of players that do exactly what he asks. This guy's one of them.
Just rotations in that defense of the Adelaide 36 has just been a little off. You don't have to be far off your game to be exposed.
Cheatham had the seal on Foxwell. Leans into Geordie Hunter, who picks up foul number 3.
One green.
But your point is exceptional, Andrew. In our league, when teams start to show cracks, when they start to show weaknesses, man, teams pounce on you quickly because it's all out there for everyone to see.
Yeah.
And with only 10 teams, the exposure rate is high. And other teams realize each victory is so important.
And there's so much talent, and offensive talent in particular. So if your defense is just a little off, you're not quite in the right position, you can get exposed because seemingly everyone can score. Whereas in times gone by, there's a few players that you're hoping that get the ball in their hands. And if you left them out there for a week by themselves, you're still pretty confident they weren't going to be able to score.
Ian Clark is not one of those guys. Now 14 points. He's the Phoenix leading scorer today.
Well, he told me that week of training had done him wonders, and he is not a liar. He looks significantly better, and back to the Ian Clark we have grown familiar with in the NBL.
It's a high for the Phoenix. Nice roll by Rakocevic. That's been there for them all afternoon.
The pick and roll.
The usage of Clark gets too, and this is without Nathan Soapy. There's a lot more shots to go around, of course, and Clark has assumed a lot of that responsibility.
Back down to Rakocevic. Easy finish from underneath. Back-to-back baskets for Adelaide. A little bit of momentum with 4:20 remaining in the quarter.
Simple old school move. Bounce, bounce, nudge, nudge, drop step, finish off the glass. John Jenkins will get set to check back into this one.
Clark over the top of Cotton. Score here for Adelaide. Oh, the game changes. Foxwell knocks that ball away from Cotton, who pulls up. And we'll be shooting 3.
And teams have done a better job in not fouling Cotton as much from the three-point line. But he gets one there. Malik Lewis, I believe it was. Fouls Cotton as he got up into the 3.
Have you got Disney Plus, Derek?
I most certainly do.
Good, because if you haven't, you're crazy. You can scan that QR code, win 1 of 10 12-month subscriptions. It's as easy as that. Great partnership between the NBL and Disney Plus. That gets an enormous workout in my house with 2 young girls.
You can watch the games as well.
Yes.
On Disney Plus. All sorts of great shows to tune into. I mentioned a little while ago the Taylor Swift doco running around.
That was very good. Very good.
Haven't gotten around to that one yet, guys.
Don't roll your eyes at us,
It's got
Derek.
a whole doco on the Iris.
Yep, the Iris tour.
Yep.
It is, she is one talented lady.
You and Melinda binge that together, Drewy?
It wasn't a binging episode, but it was just a, once every second day, just chipping away as they are released.
Speaking of pop stars, we got Danny Minogue in the house.
Nothing wrong. I watched it with my wife. She enjoyed it. Here's Clark. He's enjoying his afternoon.
He just took the shot before from the exact same spot. It came up marginally short. And to get one so quickly, it's fresh in your mind what happened. He was able to make the adjustment.
I'd bet my life Ian Clark would never miss the same shot twice from the same spot consecutively. He's just an outstanding shooter.
Back out to 10. Zaran Vasiljevic just has not been able to get himself going in this game. Maybe that might change his fortunes. First field goal of the day.
Jack, Andrew may disagree, but I don't feel like this is an 8-point game. I think it's...
No, I agree.
Very close. foul will be on Cotton. His third. Mike Wells says to the referee, Ken Wedgen, that's ball. And they may have a look at this one.
No, I think we will. There are certain players in this league who can ask for an immediate challenge, and Bryce Cotton's one of them.
No, he's on the arm. There was arm there. Now there was ball.
Just for future reference, if I block it and hit him, does that still count as foul?
That's the point.
Yes, I have a hands foul on 11, Bryce Cotton.
I'm not sure this will be a successful challenge, Drew.
No, it won't. But see, his second thought, I think he realised he hit it, but he thought, well, I blocked him, so now I'm allowed to whack his arm. No, you can't do that because he's still in the act of shooting.
Well, it's good to see that you've gone categorically that this will not be successful, because, great man, you were put in a situation a couple of weeks ago, and I agreed with you 100%.
I still believe I'm right. Now, I know there's a bit of narcissism about that, but...
Well, you can't say that you were right when the referees proved that you were wrong.
No, I was right, and I believe they made a mistake. That's what I'm saying.
I took the charges, didn't get anything.
It's just the way you're linked doing it. That particular play.
I'm just trying to argue his case here, Bryce Cotton.
Then it's a clean play.
Well, we've got 3 conversations going on right now with referees all over the court, and they're all equally as interesting. That's a foul.
We're worried about today's game. He hit his wrist. The rules are the rules. I understand, but he hit his wrist. We got 2 shots.
But what's the first contact?
The wrist.
I'm not arguing that foul.
I know. It's about first contact.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
the first contact, you're still in the act of shooting. You can get the ball, just because you hit the ball first, you can't grab someone's arm and stop from following through.
Right, because if the ball is not dislodged in a manner which can't be recovered, then you're committing a foul and preventing the player from being able to recover the ball and get into a shot. If that makes sense to you, Jack.
I'm listening intently, Derek.
Thank you. Jordy Hunter goes to the line. Interesting, Andrew. Hunter has been shooting the ball exceptionally well from the 3-point line. And it looked for a minute like he was really feasting on the opportunities to shoot the 3, but he hasn't attempted one today.
Well, I think now teams are aware of how he's shooting it, so they're playing him a lot tighter from the 3-point line. The help is not quite as strong, and the recovery back to the end, there is a little bit more intensity to take it away.
And I like the fact that he hasn't become dependent on it, because it's easy to do when you have success from outside the stripe.
Speaking of success from outside, there's Jenkins with a good look.
Ooh, okay.
Foxwell all the way through. It's his own rebound. Back out to Glover. Feet set. Another O board for the Phoenix. This time it's Awundu who tries his luck.
Playing with fire. Adelaide unable to grab a defensive rebound. Gave Phoenix 3 good looks at.
8 offensive boards in the game for Phoenix. Bryce draws the contact.
Josh King.
One time, fellas, let's get lined up.
Demonstrating how he wants that defense to be played to Malik Lewis. One of the most animated coaches we've ever had here in the NBL.
Here we go. 1.
Malik Lewis is confused right now. He's getting pushed all over the place. Coach wanted to have a chat. Players are saying, get back in there. We need you to box out.
He's got 4 fouls, so he'll need to be careful. And Josh King is going to roll with him. I'm not sure they're aware he has 4.
Sets very, very high standards, particularly for Malik Lewis, who's such a bright future. Foxwell with 2 more. They've been able to score at will.
Yeah, well on their way to over 100 again.
I don't think that's his go. I don't think he's the ball carrier type. He's more off the ball operator. Jenkins I'm talking about.
7th rebound for Hunter. Look at the pace of Southeast Melbourne.
Everybody can run the floor for Southeast Melbourne. They are a team full of very good athletes. They've got great length, and they'll punish you if you show them the slightest crack, as Hunter knocks that one out of there.
One thing Phoenix do, which encourages to run, is they reward runners. A lot of times you see the bigs running the floor and they're reluctant to throw it. Phoenix happy to hit the bigs in transition.
3-quarter time approaching. Nice work from Cotton. Was just a nuisance and got in the way of Hunter. Now he gets busy at this end of the floor. Jenkins in the corner.
It's a compact, good-looking stroke.
You like it?
I do. See why he's had opportunities at the highest level.
I don't love this call. Theoretically and fundamentally, it's a good play by Vasiljevic.
Dirty green.
And that will result in Owen Foxwell receiving a charge and his third foul. Have a look at it, Drew.
I'm not sure why you don't like it. It's a good defense by Vasiljevic. He comes from the weak side and takes away the driving lane. He's outside of the paint. What don't you like about it?
That type of call after the pass, I'm not big on. The other one in transition, when you try and step in front of the big, I'm not big on it.
No, I'm with you on that one. Not so much that one, but the other one for sure.
He's unstoppable.
Just a variety of shots that he's able to get into and create for himself, and then finish. 23 points.
Foxwell stepping back. Things aren't normally open on a Sunday here. John Brown monstering the offensive glass.
One time, fellas, let's get lined
And
up.
it's not like they have a crazy number of offensive rebounds, but they've been significant when they've secured them, seemingly always leading to second chance points.
Well, that's another byproduct of what happens when you switch. You switch. Humphries is out guarding the three-point line. A missed shot. They got the size advantage down low.
And now 15 second chance points as this third quarter draws to a close. Southeast Melbourne, good position now.
They've got themselves in a winning position. They lead 81-69, three-quarter time here at Hoops Fest. Hope you're enjoying the coverage from wherever you are around Australia. We have absolutely enjoyed ourselves this weekend. And have a look at Kings Park overlooking the Swan River, the Perth City skyline. It is absolutely stunning. It's been a stunning weekend, and a massive thanks to the WA government for their support and being the proud presenting partners once again of Hoops Fest.
Welcome back to the final game of Hoops Fest at Southeast Melbourne, leading the Adelaide 36ers 81-69 with a quarter to play. I'm pleased to say I'm joined by the NBL's newest and next star, Luke Paul. Now, look, congratulations. I know you told me the other day you couldn't wait for the announcement to actually be here. Has it sunk in now that it's finally happened?
Yeah, I think it's slowly sinking in now with everything happening. But yeah, super excited to get started and can't wait.
I know you said that Josh Giddey is someone you model your game on. He had a special message for you after the announcement. What did he say?
He was just saying, you know, good luck with everything, and if you ever need anything, reach out. So I think a guy like that to reach out and give his time is super. I'm super grateful, and yeah.
Now, I know that you're talking to different teams about where you're going to play next season. It must be pretty motivating watching the top two teams go at it behind us.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a great chance for every team to come to Perth, and I get to watch every team and see how physical and fast-paced the game is. So, yeah.
We can't wait to see you on that court next year. Good luck for everything.
Thank you.
It's going to be an absolute pleasure to call that young man's name for a long time to come.
Envious what lies ahead for these young players, the opportunities that they have. It's just amazing. Oh, he struggled all day from the field. Flynn Cameron says, well, I'm just going to have to stuff one in. 1 of 9 now, but it's a big 2.
And he hasn't stopped playing. His intent has been good throughout the game. Effort level still good.
Foxwell rips baseline. His ball movement here from Southeast Melbourne. Malik Lewis through contact with 1 to come.
The Adelaide bench think that's a soft call. DJ just didn't quite get there in front of Lewis. Good skill finish there by the next star. He'll go to the line to shoot 1.
Yeah, Jack nailed it though. The ball movement, willingness to make the extra pass, whip it around, gets the defense into a scrambling situation, put it to the deck. And Lewis, who's missed a decent chunk of games this season, continues to grow. It's one of the reasons why he's also a player that, you know, is probably on that bubble of first round draft prospects.
A lot of scouts in the building again today. Quite a few of them just sitting next to us here in commentary. 0 across his arms.
Hasn't hurt himself by the performance today. Like I said, he's missed a big chunk of basketball, but love his game, but most important, I love his personality. He always plays with a smile. He's always engaged.
He's just getting a little hand on things. Cotton. Jump out. They have come back from a big margin before, Adelaide. They came here to Perth earlier in the season and ran one down late, but this feels like a different challenge.
Well, it's going to be a much tougher challenge if he gets going. Not just for the Adelaide 36ers, but for the entire competition.
And he looks over at our commentary position like, I told you so.
87-71 here at Hoops Fest.
At you too, Derek.
He looked straight at you then.
Well, he told me the other night, as he and some of his teammates were out on a nightly stroll, acclimatizing, getting their legs loose, he said, look, I've had a week of training. I feel significantly better, and I think I'm ready to play. And with the absence of Nathan Sobey, the conditions have come together perfectly for Ian Clark, who now has 20 points.
And let's be brutally honest, he's played 5 games and they've been well below expectation. They made a big change to bring him in, and I think it was the right change on paper. I thought, but it's taken him a little longer than I think they thought to get him into the groove, and perhaps this is if you look at it, might be a blessing that Nathan Sobey's not here if they can get the win and they get him back in the type of form that they need him.
(87-71) the final game of Hoops Fest. It's Southeast Melbourne who have led for most of the afternoon. 16 the advantage right now. The Adelaide 36ers, who sit atop of the Mitsubishi Motors ladder, are in real danger of having their doors blown off here.
Oh boy, a turnover in the backcourt by Flynn Cameron. Foxwell capitalizes and 1. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix getting it done.
Worst possible outcome coming out of the timeout. Not only you get the turnover, but also the N1.
And Andrew, if you are not secure with the basketball, Southeast Melbourne are as good as anybody I've seen at punishing you.
That is sloppy by Clint Cameron. Lazy bounce pass against a team that
still see one.
This is their signature.
So the clear path
up the floor defense
eliminated. Yep. But did you consider the actual no play at the ball on that play?
I think he made enough of a play at the ball.
Yeah.
I think we should.
I think we should.
Yes.
Replay center. We just want to replay that. Look at that last play for a potential upgrade to a season. Yes.
Now, is it enough of a play of the ball? This hit right there, and that first one, no, it's not. It's just a grab. So
the
sequencing. I don't like the fact that it's going to be two and another bonus and the possession, but technically it's probably the correct call.
The sequence was weird to me, Jack, because
so
the unsportsmanlike action happened before he actually had the ball.
They really had no choice.
Yeah.
The rules are there.
Okay.
Again, I don't know whether I like in that circumstance.
There's a catch-22 here.
Wow.
There's a catch-22.
It's an and one though. He was in
No. So the actual unsportsmanlike component occurred before the act of shooting. So we're going to wave the basket.
So he's going to get 2 shots.
That's correct.
And possession, but the basket doesn't count because they feel like he wasn't in the gather and it wasn't in the act of shooting.
Before act of shooting.
That's really good officiating from the 3 in charge to talk it through. And then really good explanation from Paul Mabry as well.
Well, obviously they would have preferred the bucket, the and one, and possession.
Especially now.
And 13 turnovers by the Sixers. It's an area where they've been strong throughout the season, but the Phoenix will test the best teams in the competition. And that's how they beat you. Forcing turnovers, offensive rebounding, and knocking down threes.
They can cash in with the extra possession up the unsportsmanlike. Foxwell head down. What an afternoon he's had.
Again, he snakes through that Sixers defense. And on this end of the floor, Andrew, Foxwell is very underrated.
Oh, no, he's a little pit bull out there and does enough to be annoying enough and does it with some IQ.
21
off the ball
green.
foul by Clark.
And Jack, there's time left in this game. Plenty of time for Adelaide to get back in it, but I will say, I thought Southeast Melbourne's, I thought their career and their mindset changed, Andrew, with respect to this season when they beat Melbourne United.
Sloppy inbound there. Cotton steps on the halfway line. Said it a couple of minutes ago that Adelaide are in danger of having their doors blown off here.
No backcourt. No backcourt.
Costly, unforced errors like that are not going to help their cause. 19 the lead. Biggest of the afternoon right now. And Clark extends that to 21.
He's got it popping. Make no mistake about it. He's back feeling good about himself. And if he can provide steady three-point shooting and offensive punch, this totally changes the fortunes for the Phoenix.
It's just going even worse. And not only does he miss the shot, he comes back and looks hobbled. Isaac Humphries, when he was back on the defensive trans.
Does look a little sore there. Shot clock down to 9 for Southeast Melbourne, a rarity. They normally like to force the issue.
245, walks underneath, 2 shots. That's why I called it.
Here's Isaac Humphries, gents.
So he misses the wide open one he's going to make, and see that he's limping as he's trying to get back.
Still looks like he's not feeling the best.
There's a bit of the Rob Bakers about that from yesterday, isn't there? Just an awkward landing underneath from New Zealand.
Now, given this margin, and yes, you're right, they have this miraculous comeback on this floor against the Perth Wildcats. But right now, if any doubt, I'm not risking Isaac Humphries. He's been integral to the team's success this season.
Given the way the game's being played, Andrew, anyway, it might be best for Mike Wells to start looking at the small ball lineup with Cheatham at the 5 anyway.
They've scored 2 points for the quarter, Adelaide. They have had the life squeezed out of them by Southeast Melbourne, and that continues to happen. The intensity, the desperation.
Oh!
Almost a cupcake.
Was he struggling to think, should I throw this down or not? Did he have that sort of pop in him?
Well, he was trying to get the dribble and the footwork right. Now, he was saying to his teammates just a minute ago that he was going to put it through his legs and yoke it. And if he would have done that,
I don't think
that would have really shocked me.
I don't think that's in his repertoire.
I think maybe a few years ago for Ian Clark, but in his mid-30s now, I'm not so sure about that. 96-71, final game of Hoops Fest. It's been a fabulous weekend, and well, I'll keep talking about all of the things that we've been able to access here in Western Australia. It's all brought to you by the Western Australian State Government through tourism. Western Australia, you can find out more at westernaustralia.com.au/itineraries and build your itinerary. And just add in a few of these things right here. Look at this.
Well, I've had a great time, Andrew. I don't know about you, but it's been just a terrific experience, and WA government always does a great job of making sure everything is well-resourced, and when you get out here, it's just a tremendous experience. So many beautiful natural landscapes to take in.
And everything I'm hearing is that the talks are very positive that we return here next season, which would be fabulous.
It is, and it's got the best of a lot. You can, if you're into the more nature-driven holiday, that's all there for you. If you want to pop into the city, that joint was jumping allegedly. Unlike you, Derek, I've only been here.
Well, the fan zone, we held it overtime live there the other day. It was terrific, but in one day I was in the city, walked over to Northbridge. That was great. Got through Kings Park and then out to the beaches, Jack.
Saw that live overtime at the fan zone a couple of days ago. Anyone tell you that the four of you look like K-pop demon hunters, the way you came out on stage?
Wow, can a guy just try and be himself and do his job without being scrutinized?
He can, just don't look like K-pop demon hunters. That was great. So many fans turned out.
Yeah, we love their engagement and the great questions, and all ages, Jack.
96-71.
Great for his confidence. Flynn Cameron, 1 of 5 now from the three-point line.
This is a significant loss for Adelaide. Pass from Foxwell. Just to find the mark.
Flynn Cameron, because I noticed, and that obviously those watching it wouldn't have seen it, when I mentioned Flynn Cameron is my most improved, Derek's eyes were rolling.
I'm with you. I think Flynn Cameron's #1. I know what you're trying to get at. You think I want Sam Menenga, right?
Well, you just noticed there was a little twitch going on, so I wasn't sure where you were heading.
I really like both of those guys. I think they're terrific players and have had amazing seasons as Cameron raises up again.
4 of 18 from long range. Make that 4 of 19, Adelaide. 21%. Southeast Melbourne, on the other hand, 40% from deep this afternoon. And you can add 3 more.
Class is class. Talent is talent. And Ian Clark has both of them. And it was just a matter of time before he put on a performance like this. And Drew, I've got a question for you in a couple of minutes.
Has tried his hardest, 26 points for the afternoon. Big deficit, though, for Adelaide, who have come to Hoops Fest and have been humbled by Southeast Melbourne.
These matchups have just plagued them all day long, and Lewis can't capitalize on that one.
They left Isaac White on an island there. It took a long time to get any sort of semblance of help. Bryce Cotton gets to the cup.
So with this deficit as it is, Andrew, Phoenix has been comprehensively better today, despite the fact Adelaide have won the previous games. Do you think this poses a problem for Adelaide in this matchup going forward in the postseason if they're to encounter each other again?
I don't think you want to overreact to one poor performance, and the combination of bringing in John Jenkins and adjusting around that, and the mindset that some of the other players knowing that, well, what does my role look like now? What do I have to do? That takes a a little while to sort out. So I don't think that they'd want to. You wouldn't want to overreact because clearly they've got exceptional talent and they're one of the favourites to win the championship. But you learn from these types of games. As I'm sure the Adelaide 36ers will as well.
Different lineup now for Adelaide. Almost a concession from Mike Wells that might just about be gone. Glover misses out on his layup.
And I think if I'm Josh King, I'm delighted with this performance because you really didn't get much from Glover, and he's been outstanding this season. Cotton goes to work, misses on a little pull-up runner, but
what is he doing in the game now? Unless Mike probably thinks maybe one more possession, but I'm saying, Bryce, you've done your work. You've got 28 points. It's time to have a spell.
Southeast Melbourne cracked the ton. Daniel Foster comes in. Owen Foxwell will sit down after a wonderful afternoon. 15 points, 12 assists, 4 rebounds, 3 steals, and plus 23 for the afternoon. Joe Healy courtside.
Yeah, thanks. Just piggybacking off what you guys are talking about with Adelaide. Obviously, they've still got to get John Jenkins up to speed here. He was looking forward to playing with Bryce. This is obviously part of that build. One thing that Mike Wells has been saying all season is that they need to be the best they can be come the end of the season. He said before this one, win or lose this game will not define their season.
yeah, that's true. And obviously, it's going to take a few weeks to get Jenkins accustomed to what they want to do. That's what they want him to do, is knock down shots. But it's also going to be about how well he can defend.
It's going to be a really handy weapon for them as they head towards the playoffs. Brown off the window. 14 points, 6 rebounds, plus 17.
A lot of mean mugging going on by the Phoenix. They carry themselves with a lot of bravado. And rightfully so, as Cotton goes to the mid-range. He racks up 30. I guess they're going to ride this one out and let the Adelaide let their fans see a full Bryce Cotton game out here in Perth. Ooh, see, that's why, Drew.
In on his own rebound. 12th offensive board of the afternoon for Southeast Melbourne. And the #1 team in the competition in that stat. Here's another one for Hunter. The lead is 22.
It's an upgrade. It's an upgrade. I've seen enough. I haven't seen a lot of him. Look at the Amy replay of Bryce Cotton. Just comes, kicks out. And there's enough about the stroke. And even just this little play here that I think he's a better fit. By upgrade, I'm not talking overall talent.
Yeah.
I think it's more about the fit.
And that move there will look dynamic and look more dynamic and athletic as he gets his legs under him.
January 23 is the next assignment for the Adelaide 36ers. They play New Zealand. 2 days later, they travel to Sydney. Next Sunday, Kudos Bank Arena. Well, Kings and 36ers.
Well, that New Zealand game, Jack, looks a lot different now. With Will Magnay going out, we don't know how long he'll be out for. New Zealand are right there. And if they can run off 3 or 4, Drew, they can find themselves in a real battle for that 6th play-in position.
And Josh King still continues to coach. He wants a timeout. He is really upset at the decision-making of Geordie Hunter on that last turnover. As we look at the Adelaide 36ers next 5. Now, there's no gimmies in this league, regardless of where teams are on the ladder. And having said that, it's a decent schedule they got. They're expected to beat New Zealand.
Well, round 19 could be huge, hosting Southeast Melbourne. And we look at the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, their next 5 games. And Josh King's men, as I mentioned before, they've got New Zealand. That's out at the State Basketball Center, I believe, as is the Cairns game. And things get challenging after that. Man, this league never gets easy for you, Jack, no matter how good or how well you think you're going.
106-86 with 1:27 remaining, and A huge shout out to all of our fans across the weekend here at Hoops Fest who have turned up. We've got another 6,953 here right now. We've had almost a sellout on Friday night. Great crowds across the weekend, including out in the fan zone. Fans have been getting there from the moment that this whole weekend started. Even right now, the game's being played, and we've got fans inside the fan zone, and there's a few that went along on Friday to check out.
Yeah, look at that.
These 4 characters.
So cool.
Yeah.
We're chopping it up, speaking about everything that's going on in the NBL. You can find that episode on the NBL app or on YouTube. Pete Hooley, Damon Lowry, myself, D-Ruck, Olgan Olish.
Clearly no dress code.
What are you talking about? We were fine.
Tell me that's not K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh, great screen. You see that setup, Jack?
Yeah, it was awesome.
And last year was a success, Drewy.
Yeah.
Hoops Fest. I'm sorry, last season. But this year it's gone to another level as we normally expect things within the NBL to do. Hunters indeed.
Timing's helps as well. The opening round was great. DJ Mitchell steps out of bounds, but the timing here, still school holidays, summer vacation, it's been perfect.
The next time I'll make sure, though, I've never been to Broome. I'd love to get up there. Next time I'll be able to schedule my trip a little bit better.
Some great surf beaches too. You a surfer?
I body surf from time to time, Drew, but you know, it's not something I'm exactly seeking out.
Oh, that'd be a sight to see.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. DJ for the dunk.
Has he got it in him? Back to 17, had a little bit of respectability about the scoreline. Hunter can get all the way in. That just rubs salt into the wounds.
And Andrew, you've been a head coach in this league, and no coach ever enjoys winning a game. But Mike Wells can go back with some ammunition. Sorry, no coach is ever happy losing a game, but Mike Wells can go back with a little bit of ammo and some teaching points.
Yeah, any chance that the boys are getting ahead of themselves, well, that's been squashed with a performance like this against another championship contender. But to Adelaide's credit, they've been able to bank enough wins and give themselves a little bit of a margin where they can go through this adjustment period as they bring in a new player. But you just have to look at Melbourne United and how quickly things can turn. So you do have to be cautious about your form.
Almost in our laps here in commentary. Some sort of performance from Southeast Melbourne this afternoon. Brother can't land a late blow. Foster misses out himself. Statement made from Southeast Melbourne. They take on the top of the table, Adelaide 36ers, and do a number on them. 108-89, the final score. Some thinking for the 36ers to do now.
A balanced performance by the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. They do it without their superstar, Nathan Sobey. They lock up Adelaide in the second half on the defensive end. And Ian Clark was outstanding. Found his range again, 27 points. He was huge.
Well, it couldn't have worked out any better. They were nervous and would have been nervous without having Nathan Sobey against the might of the Adelaide 36ers and what they've been able to do. But the fact that they were able to get Ian Clark back into the Ian Clark type form is just a huge bonus.
Let's get over to Joe Healy.
Yeah, thanks. I've got the Foot Locker player of the game with me, Ian Clark. I see a dominant win over the top team in the league, undermanned without Sobes as well. How did you guys get it done?
Got together with a team collective.
Excuse me.
Hey, don't touch my hair. Don't touch my hair.
Do not touch the hair.
He's angry about that.
Let's go.
Finish on 3. 1, 2, 3.
No, we did it together as a collective. Obviously, having Souls down, our MVP, of course. We're gonna be waiting on him to get back this week, but I think our emphasis every game is coming out and it's on the defensive end. I thought tonight we tried to make it uncomfortable for them as much as possible, speed them up, and try to get out on offense.
What about from a personal point of view? That felt like the IC that we're used to seeing out there. What was the difference for you?
You know, my coaches and my teammates, they believe in me. Obviously coming late in the season, trying to get my feet under me, trying to understand a new system and a new team. But it's been a process, and it's about falling in love with the process and not the result. And I had a few up and down games early, but I'm sticking with the work that I put in, trusting myself, and just come out and trying to play hard every night.
And what have you made of Hoops Fest as a basketball festival here in Perth?
No, it's been great. It's been great. I was a part of it last year early, and being able to come back this year and be here the whole weekend and see all the games, both NBL and WNBL, and all the extracurricular activities have been great. So I'm happy.
Well, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Ian Clark there, a dominant performance for Southeast Melbourne. Plenty more still to come. We'll be back after this to wrap it all up.
Hey, Hoops fans, great to see you. Man, day 4, 3-4 days of great hoops, culture, music, and everything else. We've been here for 1 game left to go. And that last one up here with the coach of the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, Josh King. Man, I'll tell you what, your team stepped up tonight. No souls. I see you did a good job filling in. Yeah, I see what you're in the stores on the offensive and defensive side. Several guys stepped up and had it. Yeah, man, what about it? I mean, like, how do you come into a game plan shutting down the 36ers as a high-powered offense? What was the plan going in? Yeah, I mean, they're best team in the league for a reason. We wanted to try to do job on Bryce. He still got 30 on us, but they have a lot of other guys who we need to focus on. Just happy we're ready to go. And Josh, before we let you get out of here, talk to us about Hoops Fest. You've been around a lot of basketball in your career, and this is a pretty good one over here at Perth. It's a long flight, but I love coming to Perth, so hopefully they keep it here. Right here, everybody, you heard from the man, Josh King. Welcome in game 4, game 2. He's coming up here on day 4.
Hello.
Almost sad that we have to leave Western Australia in many ways. 108-89, the Adelaide 36ers win, but this is what's been presented to us all weekend long. We have been so fortunate. And one last chance to say a massive thanks to the Western Australian Government and Tourism WA for having us this weekend. And what a way to finish off. This was some sort of win from the Phoenix.
Yeah, and full credit to the Phoenix for doing a terrific job coming out here and performing to close out the NBL portion of Hoops Fest, and the stats tell the story. Adelaide atrocious from the three-point line, 6 of 23. And the Phoenix, well, they knocked down their standard 11, and a very, very impressive and clinical victory by the Phoenix, Andrew.
Yeah, too many turnovers as well, with 16 of it. But that's what the Phoenix do. They put you in real uncomfortable positions, and that's been their trademark this season. It's proving to be very successful. Derek, there's a lot of people that thought, wow, would that style hold up for the full season and in the finals? And I think we're deep enough now and seeing enough of their personnel and their roster and the way in which they're managing it that absolutely it can. And it was a big statement win for them today as we look at the table and solidifying that second spot. But with the way the Sydney Kings are going, they seem like they're a team of destiny. Given all the injuries they've had, they're still find ways to get wins.
Well, realistically, Jack, any of the top 5 teams can finish in the top 2. And we mentioned before that the spot for that 6th, that play in position number 6 is going to be really, really enthralling as we go down the stretch of this season.
Well, what's to come starting Wednesday? Things are really starting to hot up towards the back end of the season now. Ignite Cup doubleheader. Southeast Melbourne play the Breakers. Before that, Melbourne United and the Bullets. Kings Jack Jumpers Thursday. My goodness.
Big weekend of games coming up, and they're ramping up. Hoops Fest was just a brilliant way to lead us into the final act of NBL 26.
And a quick shout out to everyone in Victoria. Tough times, floods and fires.
Yep.
We're beautiful over here. Things are going great, but all the very best. We're thinking about all those that are struggling in Victoria.
Massive thanks to everyone for being with us across the weekend here at Hoops Fest. It was so much fun. We can't wait, hopefully, to be back in the West next year as well. But the Phoenix had a lot of fun today. Winners 108-89 over the Adelaide 36ers. On behalf of Joe Healy, Andrew Gaze, Derek Rucker, all of our team here and also back at the studio. Thanks for your help this weekend. Thanks for being with us. This is the Hungry Jacks NBL.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.